Hello, everybody. This is Elijah.
And this is Luke.
And we are the Eagles of Steel. So, today is our episode 3 of the Eagles versus Steelers marathon that we're working on. And if you didn't see those other episodes, pause this video right now. Go check those out. They were fun, little debates, and it's going to be exciting. Like, that food one last week was fun, too.
It was.
All right.
Hungry.
But this week, we're going to be doing the Eagles versus Steelers X Factors edition. Or roster edition.
Okay.
So, if you guys didn't know, the Steelers and the Eagles play each other. I forget what we could think. It's like week 15.
Yeah, something like that.
So, late in the year, next year. And we are going to try to predict way early on who we think is going to win that game. And how close is it going to be?
And you also remember this; it's in the link too, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's in Philadelphia. But even then. So, let's start it off with our quarterback situation. So, did you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll start off.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts versus the Steelers pass defense. Now,
Okay, so
Jalen Hurts last year. Remember, this is also based off of coaching too. Coaching was not in the first half of the year. He was really good. In the second half of the year, he just fell apart because coaching was like.
Yeah, you had some pretty bad coaching. I watched all those games with you too. And now, if you want to talk about something that the Steelers actually excelled in some cases,
is your pass defense.
Our pass defense. Not all the time. Our defense definitely got exposed over the top. Like Joey Porter Jr. got exposed, and sometimes last year. But and Minka Fitzpatrick did too. And he was out a lot too. So you can't really judge our defense just because we were missing many key players throughout the season, like in and out.
And remember, Joey Porter Jr. was also a rookie last year. You gotta keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, so he was a rookie as well. So I think I know how last season was. The Steelers' pass defense versus Jalen Hurts. I know Hurts is going to roast that defense. However, if the Steelers' pass defense gets healthy, if Joey Porter Jr. picks it up, and on top of that, if our new pickups like Dante Jackson and guys like Patrick Queen for short throws, if they step up,
you could have a good, solid pass D.
Then I think we're going to have a solid pass D. And I think this is going to be a really close matchup. Who are you going to go with? Who do you have more trust in, the Steelers' pass defense or your quarterback?
Well, since we have a good offensive line to help out.
That too.
You got to combine that with quarterback.
Yeah, sure.
Since Jalen has three major weapons to throw to, I think he can roast your D.
All right, and for me, I'm actually going to have to go in favor of Jalen Hurts as well. And it's not just because of him himself, but also it's because of the O-line that you guys have. It's a very good O-line, and it's going to be really hard to go on it. Now, let's switch it over to the Steelers side of our starting quarterback being Russell Wilson versus the Eagles' pass defense.
And I'll give you a couple words explanation of how the pass defense was.
Yes, it was almost non-existent. Even Darius Slay can stop people half the time. It was rough watching you
It
guys.
was more Burnberry. What?
Yeah. But it was still rough watching you guys last season because of that. But here's the thing. Russell Wilson, if he goes back to being a Pro Bowl quarterback like he used to be, I think he could easily get past this Eagles pass defense. Even with some of the pickups you got, I think Russell Wilson can expose it. However,
if our two rookies,
if they step it up, and if Russell Wilson doesn't play to Pro Bowl form and he plays like he has been,
our pass defense,
then that pass defense is going to swallow him up.
Remember, we also just got back Gardner Johnson as well, so
that doesn't help either. But overall, between Russell Wilson and Eagles pass defense, I'm actually going to go with Russell Wilson here. I think he's going to have a good season next year. Plus, our O-line got really fixed up too in the draft. We got really young O-line. Our weapons are pretty solid. George Pickens is awesome. I love watching him. And Wilson can throw a deep ball. And that's what the Steelers are in desperate need of. So I'm excited to see what happens with Russell Wilson.
I'm honestly going to pick him as well. Pick quarterback on both sides.
Wow. All right.
You saw how bad last season.
So you think it's going to be like an offensive game, possibly?
Possibly.
Like a very back and forth game.
Maybe like 1 or 2 turnovers in there.
I could see that happening too.
Our best part of our defense is our safeties. Both our safeties are great.
Yeah.
But that'll help on the deep ball threat from Russell Wilson.
Anyway, running backs. Technically, the Eagles and the Steelers both have 2 really strong running backs. I just decided to go with the starters just because if we went over both the other 2 guys, it would be really weird.
Would be Najee Harris.
Najee Harris versus the Eagles' run defense.
Now, the run defense for Philly is way better than the pass defense. Holy crap, yeah.
Yeah, last year, your guys' run defense was top 5, I'm pretty sure.
Top 10.
Or so, at least, I knew it was really high up.
Just top 10.
Najee Harris, however, he's had 3 1,000-yard seasons the past 3 years.
So that's going to be a fun...
So Najee Harris has been solid. He's been very under the radar, even with those things, because... everybody just sees all the bad that the Steelers have done the past few years. But he's been slow. He's been being good that whole time. So don't count Najee Harris out, especially with a new O-line to work with.
That's fair. We also have a dangerous D-line.
D-line and linebackers to go against. And that's going to be hard to go with because you guys on your D-line got guys like Devin White in the behind them.
Josh Sweat, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter.
He has a really hard line to go against. Now... who am I taking? I'm sorry, Najee Harris. Yeah, you're good to me. But Eagles' run defense is just scary. And I'm going with Eagles' run defense to actually shut down Najee Harris.
So am I.
Yeah. But this next one's actually going to be very intriguing.
It's debatable.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley versus the Steelers' run defense.
Now, your run defense was also solid, too.
It was very solid as well. I think we were also top 10 range. And... our line consists of guys like T.J. Watt, Cameron Hayward, Alex Highsmith.
You have some good D-line as well. Your D-line...
Patrick Queen was a pickup.
Your D-line's nothing to mess with either.
Yeah, we got a very good D-line. And now, the difference here is really O-line. Can the O-line of the Eagles... because we know how good they are. The Steelers' O-line was fresh. And that's why
it's just rookies, so that's why
I was kind of I'm going with Eagles run defense because of that. The thing is with the Eagles, a lot of them are really good, either veterans or really good just first or second year guys.
Overall.
And it's very telling to see if the Steelers run defense can get past that line.
But that's going to be very hard to do.
And also on top of that, even if they do, can they even bring down Barkley?
Because
Barkley's shifty as...
he is.
So
he's big and he's shifty.
So between that, I just think I think the Steelers' run defense will be able to shut down Barkley.
I'm gonna take Barkley on this one.
You're taking Barkley.
I'm taking Barkley on this one.
All right, it was a very hard choice for me, but I think I trust the Steelers to be able to stop Saquon Barkley. I think they're gonna try to shut him down. It's the wideouts I'm more concerned about, which is what our next thing is. And this time it's going to be cornerbacks versus wide receivers.
Okay.
The first one we're going to start with is the number 1 Steelers versus wide receiver versus the number 1 Eagles corner, which is George Pickens versus Darius Slay.
What a matchup.
This will be fun. George Pickens, at least, I think he's been in the NFL now for about 3 years now. Versus Slay, who's pretty much a veteran now.
That'll be a fun matchup, honestly. Because, Darius Slay has been blown a few times, but he's very good at covering big guys. Number 1 wideouts.
Unfortunately, Slay has gotten bested in the past. Especially this last year, he was bested. I know Burnberry was worse.
Yes.
But Slay's also got burned many times, and it was ridiculous. So, when it comes down to this matchup, I don't know if I can trust Slay on every play. I think Pickens will get open. I think he will get open on occasion.
On occasion means...
And I think Slay is going to have issues trying to guard a guy like him, especially with Russell Wilson throwing the rock.
It also depends if our pass rush can get there.
And it's a pass rush too. But I'm going to go with George Pickens to beat out Darius Slay here.
To be honest with you, you're right about the whole getting beat some of the time because he's gotten beaten on deep balls before.
Yeah,
So
Pickens is known for deep balls.
I'll take Pickens on this.
Taking Pickens over Slay.
Yes, I am.
Whoo!
I know that's a hard choice. But
Eagles fan, right? I was kidding.
I'm just pointing it out there. All right, what's next?
Next up is Van Jefferson. That's the Steelers' number 2
versus rookie Quinion Mitchell. And
so here's the thing. If you guys remember from very few videos ago, like when we did our draft reaction, we don't really watch a lot of college. So all we saw was that Quinion Mitchell was the number 1 corner in the draft. And we figured he's probably really good.
And we got him in round 2.
You got him in round 1. That was your first round pick.
Oh, that's true.
You got Cooper DeJean in round 2. 2's very solid corners. But yeah, you picked him up. And here's the thing. Our Steelers' number 2 wide receiver was wide receiver, I'm pretty sure either 3 or 4 from the Rams. Not too long ago.
I mean, he's not bad.
This for me he was okay, but this for me is not even a contest. Give me Quinion Mitchell from the Eagles. He's gonna shut him down pretty quickly.
Yeah, give me.
Even though he's a rookie, he's still better than what Van Jefferson can do. He's not Justin Jefferson. He's a Van Jefferson.
Anyways, this next one's not going to be a contest either.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Roman Wilson, Steelers wide receiver 3.
Versus James Burnberry.
Yeah. The reason why this isn't cut and dry is because Roman Wilson's a rookie. So
that is fair.
and we got him in the 3rd or 4th round. So I'm not quite sure how good he is or not. I'm really, really hoping he's good. Apparently, because the Steelers in the past have had really good luck with picking guys that late. I think Antonio Brown was picked that late before, and he was really good. Yeah. I think Hines Ward was picked something that late before. So we've gotten lucky in our past drafting on getting guys like that.
So you think you're going to get lucky with Roman Wilson?
I'm not sure. I don't feel comfortable about it. Because remember, I was really wanting Brian Thomas Jr. that Jacksonville picked up, but we ended up not doing it. But the thing is, though, now let's talk about the Eagles for a second. James Burnberry. There's a reason why he has the nickname Burnberry.
He's burned all the time.
He sucks. The fact that the Eagles still have him as technically their cornerback 3 is a sin. They need to get Cooper DeJean right there. If it was Cooper DeJean, I'm going with him instantly. Since it's James Bradbury, I'm not sure.
It's literally a toss-up.
Yeah. In the end, I'm sticking with my Steeler. I'm going to go with Roman Wilson. I think he's going to get past Bradbury. What do you think?
He'll bounce back. I think he can cover him.
You think Bradbury will cover him?
I think Bradbury will cover him.
Ooh. He'll be James Shutdownberry. That was pretty lame.
Anyways,
now, to switch over
to Eagles
offense.
Eagles wide
receivers.
Let's go ahead and start with A.J.
Brown versus Dante Jackson. So, Dante Jackson actually did beat up Joey Porter Jr. for the number 1 corner.
Okay.
So, that's why he's above Joey Porter. So, yeah. A.J. Brown versus Dante Jackson, the former Carolina Panther number 1 corner. Who actually was probably one of the very few good players the Panthers had.
But thing is, can he cover A.J.
Can he cover a guy like A.J. Brown? No. Who's winning this? A.J. Brown. I'm sorry.
2,000 plus.
It's not. Here's the thing. I'm not saying Dante Jackson's bad. I'm just saying A.J. Brown is good.
Yeah, give me A.J. Brown on this one.
Yeah, give me A.J. Brown over my Dante Jackson guy any day. I don't trust him to cover him. He's probably going to get burned a lot, but we'll see. Next up, this one is going to be very interesting, though. Devontae Smith versus Joey Porter Jr.
Veteran wideout versus second-year corner.
Yeah. Well, if you guys know Devontae Smith from the Eagles, I know this guy does. He is a very good deep threat, just like A.J. Brown.
You have 2 deep threats on offense.
Yeah. The amount of times that Smith has sometimes carried your guys' team.
It's been a lot.
Beyond me.
Because they focus a lot on A.J. Brown, so Devontae's left one-on-one.
A lot of times, and that's going to be crazy. Now, here's the thing. when that happens, if A.J. Brown is double covered,
Go to Devontae.
what can Joey Porter hang on one-on-one with Devontae Smith?
It's very hard because Devontae's fast.
Like, Joey Porter's going into his second year. Devontae Smith's going into his fourth I think, year?
Fourth year.
So Smith has more, like,
Experience.
But a lot of times when players get into their second year, they usually pop off. That's their year when they're either going to pop off or they're going to suck. So I'm hoping that Joey Porter is going to be great, and I think he's going to be able to shut down Devontae Smith. And I'm going with Joey Porter Jr.
Bro,
the Steelers.
I'm taking Devontae Smith.
I knew you would, but I think Joey Porter can do it. And I don't care what anyone says, I'm sticking with it.
Wide
receivers are threes.
This is for the Philly. This is always our scratching heads part of our team is our wideout three. We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, you don't really have one. And the thing is, the Steelers don't really have a cornerback three either. So
this is gonna be interesting.
It's Paris Campbell. I think did you guys pick him up in the draft or free agency?
Free agency. Got him from the Colts, I'm pretty sure.
That's right. And versus Cameron Sutton, who I think has been in the air for a few years now. I don't.
He's a veteran corner.
He's more of a veteran guy. I don't know if there's much to say about these guys. I don't really know either. I know Paris Campbell was at least a solid wide receiver 2 or 3 that the Colts had. And at this point, I'm actually going to go with Paris Campbell from the Eagles because I actually know the guy. Because I actually remember seeing him play for the Colts. So I'm going to go with Paris Campbell. I don't even know who Cameron Sutton is. So
I'll take Paris Campbell.
Yeah.
Now, next up,
we got linebackers versus tight ends. Reason why I wanted to do it this way is because the people that are going to be covering the tight ends are going to be the linebackers. And not the edge rushing linebackers. Like, TJ Watt is not going to be a coverage guy.
Nope.
So that means he's not included in this scenario.
May I start off with your number one versus my number one?
So my number one tight end,
Pat Freiermuth. versus Devin White.
The former Super Bowl winner with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that you guys picked up in free agency.
Which I like this pick. Honestly, this is a great linebacker choice.
This is going to be very interesting to see what happens with this.
Freiermuth, yes, he's good.
He's very good, and
Devin White's also very good.
The thing is, Pat Freiermuth last few years has been super underutilized. We have not used him as much, and now with a new
coach and
offensive coordinator with Arthur Smith, who had a guy who had Kyle Pitts to work with
and used him.
I think Pat Freiermuth is going to be a big factor. I think he's going to beat out Devin White. So give me Pat Freiermuth. I love it.
You know what? I'll take Pat Freiermuth on this one. He's pretty good. I will give him that, but it's close though because Devin White I think can cover him, but he'll probably have a breakout.
Oh yeah,
of some sort. So
now the next up is our tight end number 2 that will probably get some touches. Darnell Washington versus Nakobe Dean.
The problem
whoever the thing is, I have no idea who he is that much.
He's a linebacker, but he's been injury prone. I'm just pointing it out there now.
So he's technically the current starter. I'm going with Darnell Washington. I'm sorry. This is a no-brainer here. Cause I don't really know Dean that much.
Honestly, I think Nakobe Dean can shut him down.
Okay. So you're going with
my linebacker.
Now to switch it over to Dallas Goedert versus Patrick Queen. What a matchup.
Jinx.
Yeah, jinx.
Very, very tough choice.
Patrick Queen was one of the better linebackers of the Baltimore Ravens for the past few years. He's a very solid linebacker, and that's going to be fun to watch, especially when he has to go against a very good tight end,
Dallas Goedert.
Here's where I'm going to have to go against the Steelers.
Go with
Dallas Goedert. Reason why is because it's Dallas Goedert.
He's very good.
He's very good. Not that Patrick Queen isn't, but Dallas Goedert is up there with guys like Kittle and Kelsey and I don't know all the other ones. Like, there's a lot of really good guys. So he's up there with them. So that's why I think it's gonna.
I'll take Goddard on this one.
Goddard. Okay.
It's gonna be hard though. Like that was a hard one to choose from as well.
Now, this next one's gonna be pretty easy for me. CJ Uzama versus Cole Holcomb.
Now CJ Uzama was a tight end from the
Bengals in their Super Bowl run. However, he's definitely just a backup.
But remember, if they do use him, he's good.
He's pretty decent. But here's the thing. Cole Holcomb, our other starting left linebacker for the Steelers, he's good.
I never seen him like...
he is very good. He's very under the radar, but he's good. So, for me, this is easy. Give me my guy, Cole Holcomb, to shut down CJ Uzama.
If because they're probably rarely utilized. I think mostly it's going to be the number one tight end.
Number one tight ends, yeah.
Take Uzama on this one.
Take Uzama?
I'll take Uzama.
All right.
Now,
so all that's left is I do want to bring up. After we get done with these, I do want to bring up the players that we didn't get to mention that we know we want to bring up. Which is our D line versus the O line individuals. I didn't write that down, but. Things because we're not going to miss out on the Steelers' best player on their roster, some
of the Eagles
some Eagles' best players on their O line. So we're not going to miss that out. But we're going to start with the safeties here. Unfortunately, since we already did corners via receivers, we couldn't really just do safeties versus receivers again. So
what we did safety versus safety, best versus best.
Best, yeah. So what we got here. For free safeties is Minka Fitzpatrick versus Reed Blankenship. Now, when it comes down to Minka Fitzpatrick, we got him a few years ago from the Miami Dolphins. He was their best safety. They traded him for some reason to us, and as soon as he got to us, he was a superstar right out of the boat. He had a pick, at least 1 or 2 picks every game, 6 games in a row that year.
When he first got him, but he started to fall off.
He fell off a bit because of injury, but if he stays healthy, he's hard to beat over the top. Now, to go to you guys.
Reed Blankenship.
Yeah.
Now, yes, he has had some injuries too, but he's hard to get through too. Blankenship's not easy to get through.
But remember though, your guys' pass defense last year was really bad.
But like I said, their safeties were our best position.
That is also true though. And Blankenship was definitely not the weak point of it.
No.
So all in all, though, I'm sticking with my Steeler, though. Give me Minka Fitzpatrick over Reed Blankenship.
I'll take Mika.
You'll take him, too?
I'll take Mika on this one. Now.
All right.
Now, safety number 2.
Oh, yeah, or the strong safeties. Which is Deshaun Elliott
versus C.J.
Gardner-Johnson.
This is
not even a contest. C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Give me
Elliott is fine, but C.J. Gardner-Johnson is like a superstar. So, it's not even a contest here. The fact that you guys got him back is an automatic move.
And on a multi-year deal, too.
Yeah, you guys needed him back so bad.
And I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
Should never let him go.
Yeah, Blankenship is good, but he was not good by himself. He needed that guy to help.
And now he
has
now Blankenship's playing beside Gardner-Johnson this time. Not behind him, beside him.
So that's going to be fun. Now, we're going to talk about some of the best Steelers players finally. Unfortunately, because this is only going to go with Steelers defense for linemen versus the Eagles O linemen because I don't really know most of the Steelers linemen. I know O linemen. I know we know guys on your D line. So I'm already going to say right now, your D line's probably going to be better than our really young, very inexperienced O line. So we're just going to say that right now. But I do want to talk about the other side of it.
Our O line versus your D line.
So, we're going to start it off. So, T.J. Watt.
He'll be an edge rusher.
He is our left outside linebacker.
So, he's usually an edge rusher.
Yeah, he's an edge rusher normally, who's going to have to go against your left side, which I believe...
Mailata.
Which is Jordan
Mailata.
Either Jordan Mailata or he's going to be right outside linebacker going against
Lane Johnson.
So, let's go with the more fun one and say Lane Johnson versus T.J. Watt.
Now, what a matchup that would be.
Both guys are legends at their position right now. And Now, who's going to win that battle?
I don't know.
Lane Johnson, how many sacks has he let up? Like,
Very few, maybe like 3 in the past 2 or 3 years, I'm pretty sure.
Can TJ Watt finally, like, get the quarterback down and get past him?
It's very hard against Lane Johnson, I'll just give you that now.
Because, to be honest, I think TJ Watt's probably the best pass rusher in the game.
But remember, Lane Johnson's one of the best. He's probably the best right tackle in the game.
So
the best against the best. Who you choose?
Yeah,
I'm sticking with Lane Johnson. Yeah.
Here's the thing. You know me. I'm a little biased with my Steelers. Give me TJ Watt.
I already knew you were biased.
I think he's gonna get the quarterback at least once. Because Lane Johnson's definitely going to be very hard to get by. But I think that TJ Watt will be able to get past him, that he's going to get get Jalen Hurts at least once, maybe even twice.
I think he might only get him once, but I'm going to stick with Lane Johnson because you know how he is.
Yeah. It's going to be a very fun game, and I'm excited for that matchup. Now, the other side, Alex Highsmith, the other side versus Jordan Mailata.
And you know how
Highsmith, I think he's going into his, I think it was like second, third year-ish. I know he was young.
Mailata's going into like his 4th year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
4th or 5th
I know he's pretty young. But Alex Highsmith, him and Watt together last year,
very good.
That was fun to watch. The Steelers' defense was always fun to watch. But I'm excited to see if Alex Highsmith can get past Jordan Mailata. That's going to be very hard.
Jordan Mailata is very big and very hard to get through.
Yeah, and Alex Highsmith is not near as big.
He's small, but
he's very fast. So
can fast beat size.
Size, yeah. And the answer is, for me personally, I'm actually going to take size here. I'm going to have to take... I love Alex Highsmith, but I think that Mailata is going to be able to hold his own against him.
I think so too. Like I said, he's been doing very good these past years as a starter, as a left tackle.
Yeah. Now, the guy who's on the inside of our Steelers D-line.
Isn't that Cameron Hayward?
Cameron Hayward versus...
You got to go against...
Who's your guys' center?
Cam Jurgens.
Cam Jurgens.
He's a third
and
year.
Any of your guards that you have. I don't know who your guards
Landon
are.
Dickerson, who's very good.
I think Cameron Hayward is going to go against any of those guys pretty much. And do I think Cameron Hayward can get by any of them? Absolutely.
He can, but
Cameron Hayward's a beast. He might not necessarily be huge, and this comes down to like height and everything, but he's a big dude.
I've seen Hayward before. He's very good. I'll take that over my guards and center.
So, all in all, though, who do we think is going to win this game?
Where are we biased about each other? So
yeah, and who do you think is going to win this game, and how close do we think it's going to be?
It's going to be close, I think.
I would agree it's going to be close. Now, here's my final predictions here. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think Russell Wilson
and Jalen Hurts are going to
Jalen Hurts are going to go crazy. I think that both the running backs are going to be struggling against the respective defenses.
I think
it's going to be a lot of passes to A.J. Brown or George Pickens and all that stuff, and it's going to be a very close battle. I think the Steelers' offense is going to pop off, and it's going to be a final score of 31-28 in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles.
You think you're taking Philly?
I'm taking Philly. Here's why.
With a Jake Elliott field goal?
Yes. Here, and the only difference is this. Barkley. I think Barkley is going to have a better game than Harris.
I can see it.
That is the only difference, and why I think it's going to be a field goal game. How about you?
Honestly, it's similar score. It's going to be a shootout because both offenses are great. Both defenses are great, but past defenses have been weak side for both of them. I think it's going to be a big passing day for both Wilson and Hurts. So, yeah, similar scores, but I'm going to say it's going to be 28-24.
In favor of?
Philly.
I had a feeling. And who do you think is going to be the one that changes the game for you guys to win this? Like, who's going to be the main one that's going to win you that game?
Honestly, by all means, I'm going to take Dallas Goedert on this one.
You think Dallas Goedert's going to
have a nice game?
Nice game?
Goedert's always been underused, but he's also a very good target to throw to. He's a big safety blanket.
Yeah. Remember, even as a Steelers fan, I'm still going to be rooting for Steelers, and if we win that game, I'm never going to let you go. But
Of course you aren't.
yeah. So here's the thing. What I'm hoping for at this point in time, though, is that the Eagles and the Steelers both have really, really good records and where they're fighting for a playoff spot. Like that's what I want at that point. I will love it if the Eagles are like, it's week 15, so it'd be like -3 games. So let's say you guys are like
13-1 or something like that.
or let's say 11-3, because I feel like you guys would probably be about something like that.
There's some big teams first.
Yeah. Let's say you guys would be like 11-3 at that point, and the Steelers, let's say, are like 10-4. Or like 9-5 or something. Like if it's that close in record, like if both teams are really vying for a spot, obviously I'm rooting for my Steelers to beat you guys all the way. However, if the Steelers are being absolute gutter trash at that point, like if we're about to just barely squeak by, and you guys are doing really good, unfortunately I'm gonna have to root for Philly. Now, my question is to you. I don't think it's gonna happen, but if it does, if the Steelers do really good, but the Eagles suck, would you root for the Steelers over the Eagles in that game?
I would.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
The reason why I wanted to ask is because I know they're your team, and I understand that. But if, let's say, the Eagles for some reason were like 3-11 at that point, like that's not happening. But if they were 3-11,
I would take the PA team.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure if we could at least agree on that.
We're going each other.
All right, but obviously we're going to try to hopefully be able to root for our own teams separately, so we can actually have a fun time like arguing on who's going to win. But
so that was our list of our rosters, like our wideout 1-2, and like our top players in each team.
Yeah, this was a fun time, like talking about this. I'm excited for the game this year, and yeah, this is Elijah,
and this is Luke,
and we are the Eagles of Steel. Bye.